Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And in legal news, and even though we're doing cybersecurity and technology here, let's talk about legal news because fake law firms are sending fake DMCA threats to people and organizations. And we're going to dive into this because Digital Millennium Copyright Act is the name of the game here. Now, this is coming from Kevin Purdy of Ars Technica, and I think this is an important one because you may have faced this. And here's the story that Kevin lays out, and it's an important one, especially if you own a company or maybe a nonprofit or you publish anything online. This is huge. Now, Ernie Smith is the person that is the subject here, and he is the writer behind the newsletter Tedium. He received a, quote, DMCA copyright infringement notice, end quote, in late March from Commonwealth Legal. Now, Commonwealth Legal was representing the, quote, intellectual property division, end quote, of Tech for Good, or Tech for Gods, excuse me. Now, the issue was with the photo of a key fob from a legitimate photo service, Unsplash, used in service of a post about a strange Uber ride that Smith once took. Now, as Smith detailed this entire situation on a thread on Mastodon, that is the Twitter competitor, the purported firm needed him to, quote, add a credit to our client immediately, end quote, through a link to Tech for Gods, and said it should be, quote, addressed in the next 5 business days, end quote. Now, removing the image, quote, does not conclude the matter, end quote, and should Smith have not taken action, the putative firm would have to, quote unquote, activate its case relying on DMCA 512C, which many readings actually does grant relief should a website owner be unaware of infringing material, act expeditiously to remove said material. Now, the email unhelpfully pointed to the main page of the Internet Archive so that Smith may review his quote-unquote past usage records. But here's the thing. When you dive in, there's quite a few issues with Commonwealth Legal, the firm's request, as detailed by Smith and 404 Media, where he was interviewed. Commonwealth Legal, that's a firm theoretically based in Arizona, which for the record is not a Commonwealth, doesn't really seem to exist. Now, despite the 2018 copyright displayed on its site, the firm's website's domain was registered on March 1, 2024 with a Canadian IP location. That's rather odd for being in Arizona, literally on the border of Mexico, on the other side of the United States from Canada. The address on the firm's site leads to a location that does not match the quote-unquote 4th floor indicated on the website. And while the law firm's website is stuffed full of stock images, so are many professional websites that do that kind of thing. But the real tell here is that the site's list of attorneys, most of which, as 404 Media put it, have quote-unquote vacant 1,000-yard stares, end quote, which are common to AI-generated faces. AI detection firm Reality Defender told 404 Media that his service spotted AI generation in every single attorney's image, quote, most likely by a generative adversarial or GAN model. Now, the attorney's bios, which offer surface-level competence, underpinned by bizarre setups as well. 5 of the 12 supposedly came from top law schools in the nation, like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, University of Chicago. The other 7 seem to have graduated from the top 5 results that you might get if you Googled Arizona Law School. Now, quote-unquote, Sarah Walker, one of the attorneys, quote unquote, has a practice based on copyright violation and judicial criminal proceedings, end quote. That is a very unusual pairing because that's, quite frankly, 2 different realms of the law. We specialize, just like in medicine, right? Just like in technology. Sometimes this Sarah Walker, quote unquote, is, quote, upholding the rights of artists, but she can also, quote, handle high stakes criminal cases. That's very, very unusual. That also then begs the question, why on earth would somebody go to the trouble of making a fake law firm out of name-cheap, stock art, AI images, and then start sending these quasi-legal demands to site owners? The answer is backlinks. Now, if you don't know what these things are, backlinks are basically links from a site that Google or other competitors, but Google's the biggest player, they basically hold in high esteem to try to understand the ranking for sites. The more backlinks, the higher the ranking is the theory here. Now, whether it's spam, traded, generated, or demanded through a fake firm, backlinks power, basically for search engine optimization's gray market, is the name of the game here. Search engines have always had a hard time gauging backlink quality and context, so some site owners still buy these, and therefore here we are. So By virtue of that, maybe they have to make themselves seem legitimate by constantly sending out links that essentially are going to drive people to look at their law firms. But the point here is that if you get a DMCA copyright notice on your website, anything you've published, etc., check it out first. Don't actually respond to this because, quite frankly, it could be fake. Now, I am the president of a charity. It's called the Foundation for a Human Internet. If you are not familiar with that, we actually got basically a question, or we got a DMCA request from a legitimate law firm, basically saying, "Hey, please take this down," etc. One of our interns apparently put up something that they shouldn't have, that kind of thing, and so, upon examination, there's a lot of trolls out there that will essentially do this, attempting to try and generate money and all of that. So this is a really shady market to begin with, but as you are starting to put out things like artificial intelligence based fake websites, fake law firms that are sending out these fake requests, we are running into a bit of a problem here. And if it's just for search engine optimization on the backlink side, that's a huge problem in and of itself, because then you're fake ranking what are probably really terrible websites. So there you go. That is your news of the day. Just heads up, if you get a DMCA notice for anything, definitely check it out. Don't respond to the email. Go ahead and look at this yourself. Do the math. Does it match on Google Maps? Is the address in the middle of nowhere? Is it cold dead eyes? And okay, I understand the returnees, but does it look AI based? So there you go. That is your news of the day, and good luck to us all. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private while not feeding the trolls. Take care.